Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Listen, we are so excited to have you back. It's another week. Y'all are here with us. And after last week, okay, with the audio, I know y'all couldn't really hear the sounds. I know y'all couldn't really hear the songs, okay? I sorry. We was just trying stuff. And at the end of the day, the goal was to not get snatched off Beyonce's internet. So she not gonna snatch me off the internet. With that being said, Cierra, hello. How are you?
I am wonderful. Still listening to Cowboy Carter. I just want to go out and say that I think this is Beyonce's best album for me. Or no, okay, let me not say it's her best album because I haven't listened to, like I said, I didn't listen to Renaissance. This is my favorite Beyonce album, hands down. Like I'm addicted. I can't stop listening to it. Like it's got crack in it or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Indeed.
Yeah,
A little crack sprinkled in there for sure.
sprinkle,
Mhm.
sprinkle. So yes, I've been doing good. Again, happy to be here. So excited for another episode. Just want to make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay in tune with us, so you can stay on the track. You know. So
Okay.
yeah.
Y'all gotta know what's going on. Y'all gotta know what's
Yes.
deep. And you know, it's funny you say that this is your favorite album because I kind of sort of went down a rabbit hole and I had been listening to all of her previous albums. And I've come to the conclusion that they're they're all my favorite.
Literally.
It's one of those things that whatever her next thing is my favorite. Whatever the new thing is my favorite because there were not only albums, they're an era in time. There's
Mhm.
such nostalgia to every single track. Every single I'm like, I know all of these songs. I know all the words. It was like
Absolutely.
one album. I'm lying. No, I know all the songs.
I know. No, I know all the love. Absolutely. The only one I can say is that I don't know is Renaissance.
Yeah, and that's sad. That's sad. We're gonna switch that up because
I
that
need so I'm gonna go through and play that one.
amazing album. Yeah. No, we're
I'm,
gonna have a listening party. We're gonna have
oh
a
yeah,
listening party. Yeah,
yeah.
we go live and then we'll see if what the
Yeah.
vibes are from
Release your soul. That's the one.
yeah,
You won't touch my soul. I got that one and Cuff It.
yes, okay.
Oh, and wait, hold on. I have to mention this one, even though I love this song, but I don't know the name. Uh, Plastic off the sofa.
Yes.
Lord,
Yes, it is wonderfulicious. So, listen, y'all, you know how we start this. This is a podcast created for Black women to tell their stories authentically, unapologetically, as they are. So we gotta create a moment for us to get off our chest, to say what we need to say, share what we need to share. And so, Cierra, are you ranting or are you raving? What you gonna
today
do?
today I am going to rant a little bit.
Okay.
Well, just a little bit.
Okay.
Um, so as some of you may know, if you watch our podcast, I am a social worker, right? And I work at a school. And I have just noticed working at a school the difference between how we were raised versus how these children are being raised today. And I use raise very lightly because that's my issue is I feel like children today are not being raised. They are being housed, they are being fed, they are being clothed. But are they being raised? Are you teaching them morals? Are you teaching them right from wrong? Are you instilling values into them? Are you teaching them exactly? Are you teaching them how to handle their frustrations appropriately? Are you teaching them that not everything is going to go their way in life? What are you pouring into your child that's going to make them a successful adult? Or are you just hanging out with your children for 18 years, feeding them and clothing them and they say, but are they being raised? And I don't feel like a lot of people are raising children anymore.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Listen, that's tough, and it's weird because it's like people like, well, you don't have no kids, so you can't judge. But then it's also like, but I, but I, but I
I
can't.
can see. I know right from wrong. I was a child. I had parents. I'm a part of this world. I know human behavior. We're humans. Just because I'm not a
I'm
parent,
not supposed to be running around knocking stuff off the shelf. Okay, I know that.
I know he's not supposed to be telling you to shut up and then you shut up.
Oh, I'm putting hands on you. Yeah, yeah, that's tough. And so then it's like they come to this school and you have to kind of like supplement that, and you can't discipline them for real. I mean, only within
Yeah,
very
and
minimal.
then yep, and you call parents, and I've noticed that when I call parents, somehow I am now it's being flipped on me, and I'm in trouble, and I'm being yelled at, and I'm like, hold on.
I get in it. How I get in it? This is your child, baby.
Literally.
Okay.
Yep, but that's where they get that
But,
level of accountability from. So
well, I just hope that we can raise better. Okay.
I didn't even realize this was right here until I just hit it.
The ghost.
I'm like, what am I hitting? Okay, sorry.
I hope that we can raise a better generation of children when we decide to procreate in this world. And this is I was gonna say no judgment. It might be a little bit.
Man, if the judgment lights a fire up under your butt a little bit, hey. And yeah, just
You don't want to be
y'all
judged
know we
against your kids.
literally. Y'all like raise your children.
That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. I think it's quite simple. Well, hopefully, Miss Sierra figure it out. You need to start that TikTok like, oh girl, and start writing down the things students say to you.
I have a note.
It says we're getting to it. We're
I
getting
was asked if I was a slave yesterday. I said a what?
wait, wait.
So in his defense, he was reading a book about slavery, and they was talking about in 1820 slavery something. So the little boy, he said, "Were you born in 1820?" And I said, "Was I what?" And I'm like, "No." I said, "I was." I did. So I tried to be funny. I said, "Nope, I was born in the 1900s," to make it
Young
seem
man.
okay. But then he said, "Well, the book talks about slavery in 18." He said, "Were you a slave?" And I said, "Nope, can't say that I was."
And on that note.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, on that note, are you gonna rant or rave? What are you gonna do today?
Oh my god. I'm gonna rave. I'm gonna rave because I
Okay.
got a pretty good workout today and yesterday, and it felt really good. I'm a little sore, just that little bit of sore where it's like been doing stuff, but
Yep.
not like I can't keep doing stuff.
Yep.
So
That's
it's a
where
great
I'm
balance.
at.
I love that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um, we did an at home workout, so it's been still like a little chilly. The weather has been playing like peekaboo. The sun is like,
Like spike. Y'all thought
you thought it was gonna be warm. You thought it was gonna go outside.
Patty.
Nah, bring them sweatpants. Come back.
Literally.
So we like to work out at home, because then we can just set the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Juice and Toya on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I like them as a quick 20-minute little workout with some weights. Yesterday was two-a-day Tuesday, so we did yoga and the workout. So that was nice because the yoga actually really wasn't too much. It was just a nice little stretch, really.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those.
Felt good.
So yeah, I'm gonna rave about that. I'm still fat, but it was fun.
Same. That's how I am. So today I actually, because I've been going to the gym too. I've been doing dance workouts in the morning, and then
Mm,
I've been trying to do. I did the stairmaster for the first time in 2 weeks today.
I seen you on TikTok, girl.
Thanks, ma'am. But it just, dang, what was I about to say?
That you still fat?
Yes, I'm. Oh, that's exactly what I was about to say. I took progress photos today from last month. No difference. No, what the heck?
Gagged.
But I was not. I think I may have worked out like consistently one week. There were straggler days, but
Okay,
it's
but do
the,
you have to work out 7 days a week to lose weight?
it's the nutrition. I like chicken wings and French fries and burgers and
Yeah,
like
you're right.
I don't want a salad. I don't want any vegetable.
I had a bomb salad today, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
I've been on them Cobb salads from Chick-fil-A. Bad.
I like the market salad.
I
No
heard somebody else
blueberry.
say that.
I like the market
But
salad.
I don't know. That's the one with the strawberries and the blueberries
Oh,
and the
so good.
bananas and all
I don't like
that.
the blueberries. It doesn't have bananas. I have the
And mangoes and pineapple and the
and
whole fruit
McDonald's.
bomb.
Yeah,
Apples.
relax. You're doing too much. Okay. It's just a
I
little,
would try it one day.
it's just a little spring berry with the avocado avo ranch.
I do like that.
So yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Like that.
speaking of seeing you on TikTok, how's your dating life going? You mentioned that you went on a date on the potty a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like him? Oh, I'm just trying to get
Mm-hmm.
on the business.
So come on in my business a little bit. So we've been on more dates, or yeah, we've been on I think two more dates. So it's going good. We're progressing. We're progressing. The only thing is I'm learning a lot about myself during this
Hmm.
dating experience because prior to this, I have been single for about almost 6 years. And not to say that I haven't dated, but I haven't seriously dated. I kind of like talked to people, hung out with people, but it wasn't like intentional.
Okay.
And so I've noticed that when you're single and I don't know if other people can, I would like to hear some other feedback on this.
Okay.
And you can talk about prior to, because you were single for a long time before you got into your relationship. Um, I've noticed that there are things that I thought it was gonna like it's gonna go this way, this way, this way, this way. And this is in my mind, I had a whole like this is how a relationship goes. This is what I will deal with. This is what I won't deal with. This. Like it was very black and white, cut and dry for me.
Correct.
Now, as I'm starting to date, I'm like, okay, I gotta be vulnerable. I can't like we had an incident where it was like a miscommunication where he was supposed to call me, he didn't call me. In my mind, I'm like, we're done. We are done.
And then they cut that off.
Okay, because for me, I've been single for so long, I don't have to deal with that. I don't got to be
It's
dealing with
not.
wait. Okay, so that's why I'm like, but it's like things like that. You can't cut somebody like really. You gonna cut him off because there was I think he ended up falling asleep, and like I said, he was supposed to call me. He ended up falling asleep, and then the next morning I said something, and he was like, "Well, you didn't even give me kind of a chance to." I'm like, "You're right." And he also was like, "You're right. I did say that I would call you." So it was like a conversation that we had to have. But to me, it was like it's just hard because I'm like I'm so used to being by myself. I'm so used to being single to now.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was just thinking when our relationship, I was just thinking of the this. I wasn't thinking of how are we going to get there, the conversations that are going to be necessary to get there, the work that I'm going to have to do, the pride that I'm going to have to put aside.
Oh, you are preaching. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, all of that. The emotions that I'm gonna have to share, and I'm just like, no, I don't have to do it. Like, but it's like if you're gonna be in a relationship, there's some things that you are gonna deal with, and it's not gonna be cut and dry and black and white. And this has been a rude awakening for me because I thought I was just so healed and so I'm ready now, and I'm like, wait, you want me to explain why I feel
Yeah.
this way?
Yeah.
I just feel this way.
I you ain't saying nothing but a word, girl. You tell I don't mean we can log off and shut the whole thing down
Drop
at,
the mic.
at this point. Catch it. What the
Oh, got it.
you don't understand what that is if you ain't on TikTok. But anyway.
On TikTok.
um yeah, it's not so with that I would say, okay, consider your source, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is telling you that it's gonna look like this? Who's telling you that it's gonna be this picture perfect idea? Where are we getting that from, right? Even I have to tell myself this, where am I getting my information? Movies, my head, my
Mhm.
head.
The books that I read that are fiction.
You read books, I know, but the books, if you read, okay, TikTok, Instagram, the 5 seconds that we see couples challenges.
That's it for me. The TikToks and the YouTubes where they highlight.
Correct. And those are very real moments, right? But I think that when you really get into a relationship, and when I listen to this podcast, it's on the Grown Woman Network, and she has a couple different shows, but it's all wives who are
Mhm.
speaking on marriage, right? On actually being in committed relationships, and I also follow um, the Kev on Stage Network. So him and his wife had a podcast called The Love Hour. I would encourage anybody to go and watch it. Watch all the episodes. Go back to their beginning. Start at number one, watch episodes and really listen, because what I learned in that is that marriage is work. You hear it, but to actually like live it is a different story, because like you said, okay, I am going to have to communicate my feelings. I am going to actually have to tell you I like something or I don't like something. I am going to have to speak up and advocate and um, encourage and foster healthy communication. And that doesn't look like going off on you because I'm mad. That actually
Mhm.
looks like me figuring out why I'm truly upset, what actually bothered me. And then I have to figure out a healthy way to bring that to the table,
Yep.
right? Because if my goal is a solution, I can't come at you rah, 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 because we're not going to get them, right? And
Automatically.
exactly. You
Yeah.
backing off, right? So it's tough. It's very, very tough. And so for me, before I was single, I think for me what it was okay, I went through a very, very, very like toxic relationship with someone, dealings with someone, I don't even call it a relationship, interaction with someone. And I've spoken on before where I didn't speak up, where I compromised, where I didn't demand healthy communication, where I didn't prioritize what was right for myself, and all those things. And so I think once I decided, okay, I'm ready to meet my husband, it was a breaking down of the pride of, okay, at the end of the day, I actually want somebody who makes me feel good, who makes me
Mhm.
feel safe, who makes me feel confident, and who makes me feel supported. The
Mhm.
other stuff, I feel like I can deal with that, right? I feel
Mhm.
like I can learn how to have a healthy converse, like a productive conversation. Again, if we getting into it and you calling me out all kinds of out my name, and we can't go from there, right? So it's kind of like, is this person? Do you feel like, okay, maybe I could work it out with them,
Mhm.
not in a manner of diminishing yourself, but actually, like you said, learning about yourself. I'm becoming a much better communicator because I got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to.
Yeah.
So it's, in a way, it's making me better. And the yin to my yang. We could not be more opposite in so many ways, but it calls me up and out, right? So now I have to not yell when I talk to him,
Mhm.
because that's you're drawing. He's not tolerating that. He's not
Yeah.
gonna accept it. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough for me. It's really, really hard.
Like, I'm just trying to communicate with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay. So what are you doing to work on those things? Right, to drop your pride, to have better or more effective communication.
So I'm trying to lean into it and just truly not so like you said, so what we've kind of talked about and he kind of highlighted is that I have relationship trauma.
Hmm.
I thought that I dealt with all my like I'm healed. What are you talking about? And I'm like, you're healed because you haven't been in a relationship for 6 years. I mean, obviously, you haven't been in a committed,
Hmm.
intentional. So I've noticed, or what I'm trying to do is just lean into it because it is somebody who he makes me he does make me feel safe to have these conversations, and he does want to know, and he is, like, no, let's unpack this, let's talk about it, and so for me, I've never had someone who was willing to do that. I was the one who was like, no, I feel some type of way, we got to talk about this, I got to tell you my feelings, and they're like, girl, I don't care, and I'm like, no, I really need to tell you my feelings.
Yeah.
And so then the trauma of that is now I just won't say anything.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you my feelings because they're not going to be validated. And he's like, no, you're not telling me what.
Correct. Correct.
So for me, I'm just trying to lean in and truly, if it wasn't a safe space, I would have, obviously I'm not going to do it, but he has given me the safe space to do that. So I'm trying to just put my pride aside and genuinely, if this is something you want, you're going to have to go through the work, and it's going to feel uncomfortable sometimes, but you can't grow if you're comfortable.
And that's a good point. And you said, I thought I was healed, right, from said trauma. And I challenge that statement because for me, I don't, the destination of healed
Is a destination.
right? And I feel like we can't put that expectation on ourselves because and I'm speaking from experience because my pride so there's been things that like Daniel will joke about, maybe for example, that I just don't find funny because of certain things that I've gone through in previous dealings. There's just certain jokes you can't make. It's just certain stuff I'm not gonna hee hee ha ha about. There's certain lines that I draw, right? And prior to us being in a relationship, I wouldn't have really known that. I would have thought, oh, I'm over that, child. It's in the past. I'm moving on. My new man, new me, blah blah blah. Right? We don't have to. He's not him. He ain't that man. And I know these things, right? So then when the joke is made and I'm triggered, and then I respond in a way that maybe isn't kind or isn't considerate of who my man actually is, right? Now he's mad, and now it's this whole conversation, right? So then I now have to acknowledge, hold on, time out, right? I was actually triggered in that moment, and that did not allow me to hear, see, or process what was going on as it was. I was processing it
in your experience.
And I had to ask him for grace in those moments and saying, I can't promise I will never be triggered again by a joke you make, right? I can't promise that. But what I can promise is that I will allow you to call me out, right? I will constantly try to be aware and know that this is a stumbling block I have, right? This is something that I'm working through, but it would be unfair to like myself to be, because what I was doing is I was being prideful in the fact that like, no, you just shouldn't have made that joke. You should know that's not funny, right? Like it's not funny. But at the end of the day, it's a joke. Like it is a joke, and it might be funny.
It was to him.
Right, and to a whole percentage of the population, that joke probably would have killed. But I have to recognize, okay, and that's okay, right? That doesn't mean I don't get to date. That doesn't mean I'm not worth love and romance, but that does mean that the person God has designed for me will have to understand that. But I have to own that, and I have to come to the table.
You can't. Yes, because a lot of people will well, that's just how I am.
Right.
No, because that's just how you're gonna stay if you don't make it.
Right.
If you don't take that those steps. So that's what I'm learning a lot about myself. It was unexpected. Like I said, I thought that I was past this. I thought I don't have a problem with communication. I can tell you how I feel. And it's like, wait. My thing is I can tell you how I feel, but then when it comes, and it's not in a healthy way, it's like, you made me feel this way. It's like
yeah.
But it's not a like, I'm feeling this way. What can we do? I'm trying to understand. Da, da, da. So that's where I'm learning and I'm evolving in that area. So it's been
So,
interesting.
y'all, we started this conversation before we pressed record, and I was like, hold on, wait, we should keep it for the podcast. I'm actually really glad we did because it's flowing perfectly into what I actually wanted to talk about today on our Let's Talk topic. So, we're not going to do a timeline topic. We're not getting into the streets today. Y'all got enough tea just now.
Okay. Yes, you did. You got all my personal business.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about our Let's Talk topic of the week, and we're on the topic of communication, right, and communicating with your significant other, and ultimately communicating to get what you want, right? I mean, we could sugarcoat it and say to be effective and to compromise and to communicate your feelings, but all of that is to get what you want. And whatever that is, like whether
Mhm.
that's some money, whether that's some cuddles, whether that's a man, whether it's a job, you adapt your communication so you can get what you want. So specifically in conflict, right? It's really
Mhm.
tough. Like you're emotional, you're heightened, and all these things happen. So, in listening to that Kev on Stage Network or that Chick Angels channel, they do a podcast called The Bald and the Beautiful.
Mhm.
And so they were talking about they have 40 years of marriage between them and what have been each of their tips on how to have effective communication, how to, you know, get to the root of things, get to the root.
Mhm.
So I feel like we could talk about those and just kind of grade ourselves, like how well or poor
A good
we
little stock check.
perform in these categories. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is assume the other person has good intentions. So assume the other person. Now this is in conflict. Said something you don't like, did something you don't like. You don't say something they didn't like, did something whatever. Y'all ain't feeling each other. Assume that they have good intentions. How do you fare, Arena?
I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. I automatically assume because I'm an overthinker. So in my mind, I've had these conversations with my coworkers. In my mind, when you like say this is obviously not I don't want to use cheating because that's obviously bigger, but in my mind, say they did something that was or they said something. My mind works like you thought this, you did like I'm a very
Yes.
this is how it happened. So and I'll just use the example for cheating because that's what's coming to my head. When you cheat, I'm thinking, okay, you saw this person you liked. In your mind, you said, I want to have sex with them, but I'm married.
That's tough. There's no good intentions. There's no good.
Yeah. But I'm just showing you how my
Okay,
thought
let's
process
use that
works.
example from because I know where you're going, but use that example from that Tyler Perry movie, um, with the two sisters and the grits. I can't think of the name of it. And
Um,
the other sister got
Big Happy
mad.
or no, it's not Diary. Is it Big Happy Family Reunion? Medea's Family
Yeah, and
Reunion.
she woke up and he took her kids to go
Yeah.
get ice cream.
Oh yes.
Okay, so if that had happened, immediately at her first thought was,
Bad intention.
yeah,
And so yeah, I would think of that process like so you thought about taking them, you knew I was asleep. You like my mind goes through these steps of what I would think you're thinking because that's how I think. So I would think my mind goes to automatically bad intentions. I think you thought the whole process through and still made that decision.
even though at the end of it, there were good intentions. So this I don't do good in this.
Really?
I don't do good in this. I and I don't know why. I've really been trying to figure it out. Like I've really been trying to because ever since I've heard this, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
wait.
Okay.
Okay, but how? Because if they said that, then they couldn't have. Because why would you say that if you had good intentions, right?
Really?
But so it's really it. I still don't have the answers.
Yeah, no. But it's just because we think a certain way doesn't mean that that was their thought process and that was their intention. Their intention could have been totally different because I've done things where I intended to come across one way and I came across another, not knowing.
Yes. And I think it's one of those, it's also one of those things for me. I feel like it's just a mind trick because there are, to me, there are just certain things you
You
I mean,
consciously
it's just
did that.
how, and where were they, right? But we're talking about communicating so we can get.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, I gotta first approach it. You didn't mean to make
Mhm.
me go golf.
Yeah.
You meant to make my kids happy. You meant to get them some ice cream.
Mhm.
I'm going to assume you wanted me to get a little extra rest, okay? And so you took a load off, right? That is assuming you have good intention. And
Mhm.
maybe maybe they weren't, who knows? Okay. So the second thing is saying, approaching it saying, you said versus I felt. You said versus I felt.
I think I do well with this because I think I do both. I don't know. I will say you said such and such, and I felt such and such. So I say, yeah, you you said da 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 da. So I felt da 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 da. So that's how we can, like, I've had this conversation with the guy that I'm talking to now, where he said something and I took it a different way, and he's like, I yes, I said that, but that's not what I didn't mean it in that way to make, I don't know how you would feel that way for me saying that. So, but that way he shows you said da 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 da, and I felt da 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 da. So it's like I don't know if that negates each other,
Well, there's
but
a D, meaning versus. So you both to pick one. But because I understand what you're saying, right? Because sometimes you do have to quote the person, right? But I think a better way, also from what I've learned, is what I heard was
mm-hmm,
a mention of you're gonna put some gas in the car today.
mm-hmm,
Did I hear that correctly, right? Or I felt as if we were on the same page about leaving the house at 6 o'clock. Was that not what was going on? And I'm saying all of these things right now because I'm calm and in my right mind.
mm-hmm,
I do an okay job with this. I think I start very much where I'm at now. And then if I have to keep reiterating or repeating myself, it's getting to the you saids. And I
mm-hmm,
do need to monitor that because, again, trying to get what we want here, right? And we're trying to, whether what I want is for you to understand me, then I
mm-hmm,
need to stay in that bag
mm-hmm.
because also people don't process the same, right? And he may be heightened in emotion right
Mm-hmm.
now, upset because he got another problem to figure out or thing to get right. You know what I mean? So
So yeah, I guess I would say I do a little bit of both still because I do sometimes I am very like I mentioned earlier the situation that we had. He said, "I'm going to take a nap and then I will call you when I wake up."
right.
That didn't happen. And so when I said you said you, so I'm expecting you to do that.
Correct.
Obviously you circumstances, you fell asleep, then the next morning, like that's not wrong. In his mind, he's like, I was asleep, and by the time I woke up, you had already, said something to me, so I didn't even get the chance. So it's like
And I
I'm
can see a different way to even say, and you're right. He did say those things, right? But according to this, I was expecting a call from you last night.
Mhm. And see me, I'm the type I was harping on the fact that you said you were going to call me.
But you see
And
how
so,
you point your finger and you talking to me?
yes, you said. And so that's why I'm like, but I do know that there are some times where, because I'm an overthinker, he might, or somebody might say something, and I'm like,
Did you
I'll,
actually say that?
yeah, I'll sit and overthink it. And next thing I know, you done offended me. Hold on.
I
And
done
I'm
talked
like,
myself into an offense.
no, literally, I will talk myself into an offense.
Baby.
So I do both. I am a you said, but I'm also sometimes I do read.
That you said that, but see, that is not going to get you 40 years of hugs in hindsight. That was the name of their segment on the podcast. And it's hard, y'all. Listen, I'm talking to her, I'm talking to me, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to we. Like, everybody needs to do this. We wrote these things on a whiteboard and they're on our refrigerator.
That's
So that
I love that.
in the middle of a thing, and you said it, and you said, point to the fridge.
What we
Okay.
talked about.
Okay, so I was expecting
Literally. Let
some
me
flowers.
right there.
I was expecting some flowers from you, or I was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were supposed to speak last night. I didn't hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, sometimes you got to get in that ass. Okay,
Oh yeah.
every now
Don't
and
get it
then you got
twisted.
to get in that ass.
You
But
ain't gonna run all over me now.
we are trying to become better Black women. Okay, so
Yeah.
we got to improve our communication. Now, this next one is really gonna take that internal work. And you really got to be in your grown woman, mature bag, okay? And that is lead with your soft emotion. Lead, lead with your soft emotion. And a lot of this is putting that pride to the side. Because for me, my thought process was, was
Little variation.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Why would
I don't have to explain myself. But I realized a lot of that I don't have to explain myself was I don't even know where this is coming from. So I don't,
I can't explain myself.
and therefore you challenging me on an explanation right now is a problem. Okay.
No, literally.
That's why you said this, and that's why I want to talk about what you said, and not
Mhm.
about what I felt. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Literally,
don't
yeah.
really know. Because I don't really know what's going on. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Leading with your soft emotion, right, requires, and we're gonna take this particular example a little extreme. And my man's, if you're listening, this ain't really about you no more. Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is just an
This ain't
example.
about you, John Doe. Like,
Okay. No.
insert man here.
Literally.
If you was really feeling this dude or whatever, instead of you said you was gonna call me last night, what had happened? Hey, I was expecting a call from you. Kind of hurt my feelings that you left me hanging. What's up? And maybe, and I'm again, maybe this particular time didn't hurt your feelings, right? But when you get into some real
Yeah.
relationship ish, right?
Mhm.
It's more so. Well, when you didn't show up, I felt abandoned.
Mhm.
When uh, you said you were gonna do this and you didn't, I was disappointed. I expected it to go like this and it really went like that and it kind of hurt me. And instead of, well, why the hell are you 15 minutes late?
Right.
And it's, well, when you're late, it really actually gives me anxiety because I used to have to, my parents were always late to do,
Mhm.
or, and so it's leading with the soft emotion, and that takes calming down, that takes digging into it, maybe addressing it the next day. But again, trying to get what we want here.
Yeah. So this one I am not good at. I am very, and I'm not good at this, and not just in relationships. This is just in general. Once I feel that my feelings have been hurt or I feel offended,
Mhm.
I am not leave. My wall is up, and now I'm just like this. We
Why do
can't do
you think
nothing with
that
this.
is?
I think it's trauma. I think it's because of the fact that I don't know. I think it's trauma in my past relationship, and the fact that I was doing I don't know, everything to like I didn't want to walk on or I didn't want to mess. I don't know. I was walking on eggshells and like, but I guess I can't say that because I've always kind of been like that as a kid. Once somebody offends me, it's like all bets are off. And so I've always been like that. Like I put that wall up and now I'm ready to just combat. It's like I have to protect myself. It's like a protection. And but it shouldn't be that way if I know that this is my partner. They're not trying to harm me. So I have to be like you said, it takes that mental that okay, even though this did hurt my feelings, they are not out to get me. My back is not against the wall. And that's how I feel when somebody does something to me. I'm like, you out to get me, and I'm gonna get you.
You know what, too, though? You also have to like go balls to the wall. Like, and what I mean by that is if you do get hurt, you kind of got to be okay with it from the jump and not
Mhm.
that you're just accepting failure. But when I say go, I'm all in this relationship, right? Like if it doesn't work out, it is truly because I tried everything. I know I was here, I was supportive, I did my piece, I showed up, I did the communication, I did the work, the inner work, the relationship work, and you have to be in a space where you're willing to do that, right? Because it's gonna call you to do it, and to truly be successful at it, you gotta give it all up. You got
Yep.
to be vulnerable. You got because we ain't gonna be able to have arguments for the next 100,000 years if I'm yelling at this thing all the time, or if I'm constantly pointing the finger at him, or if he's always the villain, right? It's never going to work. So I have to,
Yep.
yeah, I just have to lean in, like you were saying earlier, lean into it.
It's that vulnerability.
Be vulnerable, and you gotta be with, and that's scary, right? Because I don't think, and I know again for me, it was so much that I didn't accept that even if I get hurt, it's okay, right? Like
Mhm.
God is my source, God is my creator, and I will recover. It might be bad, it might be sad for a couple weeks. I've been single before. I can do it again. I love myself. I love my company. So let's try it. Like let's do the things. Let's do the work. Like that's literally how I'm talking to myself. Like
Oh, literally.
let's go, girl. Have the conversation, girl, because if you don't, you can't say you tried, right?
Right. And that's my mindset. It's like I can't just say, I'm not dealing with this. Because then that's just gonna have me single forever. I have to at least try. And like you said, I know what it feels like to be single. I know what it feels like. That's not it, like you said, it may hurt a little bit, but it's a risk that I am gonna have to take in order to get the good thing that I want. And so that's something I'm definitely, like I said, learning because I thought I was good. I thought I was on a one track. I thought we was gonna meet, everything's gonna go very smoothly, and then we're gonna get married. And then, like, what you mean? I still, there's things I need to work
And
on.
you
What are you
got,
talking about?
and I think that I think it will go smoothly, and
Mhm.
in the big picture of things, right?
Yeah,
I know too. For me, you can get caught up in the little what you're not gonna deal with, right? I'm not. If he do this, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
that was me.
You got all the exit plans, right? But what happens when he does challenge you, but you want to stay?
That literally, like, so wait, I gotta work on
What's the stick it out plan, sis? Like,
literally,
it's
and
gonna
that's what I
work.
did going into this. I didn't. It was automatic. If somebody does something that I don't like, I'm good by myself. I'm good.
That's go back to your heart posture, right? Which we've talked about before entering dating. I'm actually gonna go into this. We gotta continue. If it don't work out, I'm good. But also, let me think about what happened when
If
I
it does.
let go. What
Mhm.
does that
I've
feel?
never thought like literally. I'm always like, this if he do this, we're done. We did it, but it's never. Oh, if he does
There
this,
go that figure again.
and I've had conversations with people, and they're like, your list is just you're just too obviously not lower your standards, but nobody's gonna be perfect, and I was expecting perfect.
And I'm glad you spoke on standard because also back to what you get what you expect, right? And I was talking to a coworker, like, what's your list? And she kind of faithful, not jealous, monogamous relationship. And I'm like, those are kind of the basics for me. And so it's kind of like, that's not even a non-negotiable. It's not,
Yeah.
we're not really even finna talk about that. So I'm thinking higher, right?
Hmm.
I'm on the totally because I already know that's gonna be in the bag for me. I already know he's gonna be fair. I already know he's gonna be committed. I already know we're not having that jealous spirit over here. You know what I mean? Okay, he might have some communication issues. Okay, we might have to, work on buying me flowers or
Hmm.
what he dressing like, you know, or we might have to cut that hair.
Okay.
We can deal with that. We can deal with
Mhm.
that. With those other things, I don't. My standard. It's not. It's not a. It's trivial to
Mhm.
grand scheme. That's gonna be there. Because if you're
Right.
making me feel this kind of way, if you're this type of showing up in these kinds of ways, you're gonna be that guy. So
Yep.
next, number four. There's six total. So number four is get a third party. And heavy on it doesn't have to be a pastor, were Melissa's words. So therapy, in my case, because it's free, I do a lot of podcasts, I do books, um, TikToks every now and again.
Mhm. I haven't had any experience with this. Like I said, I've been single for a long time. So usually, in my past experiences, I did not get a third party because I knew what was going on was wrong, and I knew that they were going to say it was wrong, and I wasn't ready to leave yet.
Mm.
So in the past, I did not get a third party. I was very adamant about not letting people know what was going on. Um, but I am in the moving forward. I want to do like premarital counseling. I want to do those things because I know that the way that I think and the way somebody else may think, or the way that we communicate may be different. And that intention, like I said, thinking he's intentionally trying to hurt me. And he's like, no, I'm intentionally trying to help you. Like, so just having that there, I know that it's important. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just don't have experience with
And a lot of people are like, "We're good. We talk. We get along. We barely argue. Blah blah blah." And that's good. That's good. That's how you enter the marriage. If it's been, oh,
it.
if it's been copacetic thus far, that's great. But I really think that counseling third party advice is to give you tools. It's to give you things exactly like what we're talking about right now. Okay, I'm heated. He getting on my nerves. I don't, I don't want to talk to him, but we gotta talk. So what do I do? What's the first thing? Okay,
Yeah.
assume he has good intention. Okay,
Mhm.
that will automatically get you in
Fall
a
under
totally different headspace, right? To be able to process it now. And you might have to walk around and chant it. He has good intention.
He's not trying to hurt me. He's
He,
not trying to hurt me.
he loves me.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, he loves me. Okay. Give yourself a hug from him to you. I am
Yeah.
serious. Okay. This is the work, honey. Do the honor.
Absolutely.
So yeah, getting those tools in the bag and I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again, consider the source, right? With these third parties, with these podcasts, with these preachers, with these prophets, with these life coaches, yada, yada, yada. It might be a cute, fun catchphrase, but remember, take what's good and leave the rest. Not everything this person says is gold. Not everything they say have to apply to you in your relationship. Just because they
Right.
share a bank account don't mean y'all have to share a bank account. They
Mhm.
might have sex 20 times a week. Y'all might not. They might have the schedule. Y'all might not. So do what works for you.
Absolutely.
And last one, well, it's kind of five and six together because it kind of goes together.
Okay.
It's going to be open and be honest. And most importantly, be kind.
Hmm.
How do you think you do?
So for me, I'm definitely mm, so here's my thing. So I feel like I'm open, but I'm open because I also do struggle with vulnerability. So I'm like, are you really open? because I'm open when it's like like I feel when it's a negative thing. But when it comes to being vulnerable about like you said, I'm not you were supposed to be here at 12:15. I'm not able to say you hurt my feelings
Mm.
or that.
You got to get in there, Cierra, and dig it out. You got to get in there and
So
dig
that's why I feel like I'm open in some ways, but it's not the all around. I'm open when I feel like it's easy for me to.
open, but it sounds like you're just not vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm always honest. I'm not gonna lie. So
But see, are you honest if you're not truly being vulnerable about your feelings?
mm,
Catch it?
okay. So me,
Because to me, that is that's being dishonest with yourself, right? You hurt me. And if
mhm,
I don't tell you that, I am denying that myself. And you are walking around thinking, I'm mad. And so to make me not mad, you come tickle my feet. No, nigga, I don't want you to. I'm just saying, I don't want you to tickle me. I
yeah,
want you to
but
say, hey, I'm sorry for hurting your feelings, but I'm not gonna get that because he don't know it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like they all go hand in hand and hand in hand in hand. And I'm only speaking from experience because
mhm.
if I could have did this podcast before I got into a relationship, I'm saying what you're saying. I'm you. I'm not telling you nothing.
Okay. Why I gotta tell you something? You should know.
I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk to you for real. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want? Then you want me to be
Literally.
vulnerable because I'm so sensitive and because my fear, and that is where you have to get back to. Okay, so why am I so afraid? What's the problem? My fear is being misunderstood. I don't like being misunderstood, and I really struggle with feeling seen and
Mm,
feeling as though my feelings have validity and value in the space.
yep, that's what I was gonna say.
And that is something that I had to recognize. And then I had to say, okay, well, who validates your feelings? That nigga or you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's me. Period.
Whether he agrees or not.
It
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that they're facts, but it
Mm-hmm.
does mean that I felt this way, right?
Yep.
And that is why I have to communicate it with you because maybe it's not a fact. Maybe I was like back to my previous example. Well, maybe I was triggered, and therefore, because I was triggered, I then responded and got more upset about this, that, and the third. And so now I'm mad. My
Mm-hmm.
feeling of being mad at you because you're being disrespectful right now is not a fact. You're not being disrespectful. Actually,
Right.
you're not.
Absolutely.
You're trying to be cool and funny and have a good time. You're being jovial.
Yeah.
But I took it as disrespect because that's how I felt. But if I
Mm-hmm.
don't communicate that to you, you're a disrespectful nigga in my mind, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he feels that,
You
and
tripping.
so you tripping, right? And so
Tripping.
now we got this whole whirlwind of
Misunderstandings. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, I know that that's something I struggle with because my feelings weren't validated in the past. I'm like, well, why even say it? Because I'm just gonna come up. You're just gonna think I'm crazy. You're just gonna think I'm nagging. So I'd rather just remove myself, which is not healthy. I'm not gonna be like you say. You're not gonna get what you want by doing that, and he's not gonna understand how I actually felt.
and him thinking you crazy and naggy is information.
Yeah.
That's information. I need to know. Do you think I'm crazy because this, that, and the third? Cool. I'm good on you.
We're not
Yeah,
okay.
I'm good on you. I'm good on you, and that's okay. And that's
Yeah.
okay. You're not. I only need one. I only need one. I remember. I couldn't even tell you. One day I just was crying, just bawling my eyes out. Got in the bed, just crying, just crying, just crying. He just got in the bed, didn't say nothing, just held me, cuddle. I don't even think we talked about it afterwards, but like that was kind of one of those moments, like, oh, okay, I like you for real. You like me because I'm
Okay.
crazy.
Yes. Literally.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what's going on.
And you just here, you just rocking with it.
what? We're gonna write this thing together until the wheels fall off. So, but there are also times where he's like, "No, you're tripping," and I have to be honest. Am I?
Yep. And you have to be open to that, to him being able to say that and do that self check and not always, no, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. He gonna be like, okay, well, we ain't got to do this, bro.
Yeah. So I think I'm always open. I think I'm definitely open, honest. I'm getting better at being honest, like with myself, like just like I was saying about those things, and
Mhm.
kind. I think I'm very kind. I think I'm very
Yeah.
cognizant. I don't like to crush men's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not one of those ones who, like, I definitely try and say it in a kind way. I try and be mindful of other people's feelings.
Right. Indeed.
So I definitely, which sometimes is not good because I could be like, you really need to be saying a little bit more, but you don't want to really hurt their
And that's a
feelings.
line to toe. That's a
And
line.
that's that honesty though that you were talking about. Like you said, I was thinking of it as far as not lying, but if you're not being honest about what you're actually feeling, and it's just my so a lot of time mine comes off as mad. It does. That's my defense. You're gonna think I'm mad when the whole time you really hurt my feelings, and I really was crying last night. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't. You think I'm ready to fight you, and you think you just I'm just mean, and I'm just everything pisses makes me mad, and it's like no, that hurt my feelings. But I haven't gotten to that point where I can say you hurt my feelings.
Just try it. What's the worst? Okay, let's role play. What's the worst he could say? I'm gonna be you, and you be
Okay.
the worst nightmare.
Lord.
Okay. You were supposed to call me last night, and you didn't, and I kind of hurt my feelings. What's going on?
Girl, I don't I just would feel like he would be like, for me, I don't want to come across as like I'm nagging you or like I don't know. So I wouldn't want him to respond like, here she go. Oh my gosh, it was a stupid little phone call. Who cares? Like, I didn't call you. I was busy. So like,
Oh, okay.
it's not that serious. Let it go.
Oh, okay.
I would just be like,
Period. Hang up. End the phone call. I'm not.
okay. And so, like you said, that just comes with being open to that I might get hurt.
And that no, that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is true.
I
That's
might get hurt,
yeah. You
but
gotta step
so
up to
for
the
me,
bat.
I'm just like, you said you were gonna call and you didn't.
Explain yourself.
Instead of, dang, well, I was really looking forward to the phone call. I really wanted to talk to you. I missed you.
That's that feminine energy,
Yeah. And mine came off like
bitch.
my phone call, ho.
See, what was that post thing that women say that men don't like? Man,
Literally.
you should have texted me.
Literally. You should like and then another thing that he brought up is um I I don't know if this is related or not, but I have a problem initiating things. I wait for things. So like when it comes to phone calls and text messages or not dates because I'm not initiating. Not right now. Not in the beginning. But when it comes to those things, that comes to that vulnerability piece. I wasn't willing to reach out and do it sounds crazy, but to me, I would think that he gonna be like, dang girl, we just talked. Yes, like you want to talk again? You want to? And so me, I was just like, I would wait for him to, reach out to me. And he told me, he said, well, that sounds like what kids do. I said, you calling me childish? Are you calling me childish?
I like him.
That's what I said. So when we have these conversations, I've
Yeah.
learned more about myself. Like,
Grow up.
that is childish. That is very childish. And I have no rebuttal for that. You are absolutely right. That is childish.
Have you met that man?
I have. I've done better. I've done
Okay.
better with calling and texting first. But like I said, we're able to have these conversations, which I didn't think I had. To me, being single so long, I didn't think I had an issue with that. I mean, I didn't.
That's
That was
not
never.
like that because relationships, to wrap this all up, all this whole everything, they're a mirror, right? They're gonna show you or what you need to work on and a little bit of both.
Yep.
You just pay attention. You just pay attention. Whoever you dating is a reflection of you. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and the best one will reflect your amazing qualities
Hmm.
in the greatest light, right? But they
Hmm.
will also call you up
Yeah.
on where you could use some work in a healthy, respectful,
Mhm.
efficient manner. Okay?
That's my first time experiencing it, so it
We
definitely is.
love it for you.
It's like, okay. So yes, I
Like
definitely
that, man.
okay. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this was very insightful. I love this conversation.
Just listen, y'all. As per usual, if you didn't get something, check your
You weren't,
speakers.
you
Check
wasn't watching.
songs. Check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, because I know we dropped some gems. This was helpful for me. This was helpful for Sierra. This is
Mhm.
helpful for anybody who has to communicate. Okay, you can use these tools with your parents,
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
your children, even
With your friends, because a lot of people don't look at friends as a relationship. They look at them as, a kind of throwaway, but you have to a friendship is a relationship that you have to also nurture and pour into and be intentional about.
Gotta work on that thing. Anything
Mhm.
that people need to know, Sierra?
Um, do the work, y'all. It may be hard, it may be a little uncomfortable, but the growth that'll come from it, because even in this short amount of time, I feel like I've grown. And so even if it doesn't, work out, I've at least got something. So just be open to get what you're supposed to get.
Amen. Snaps for the work. Snaps for the work. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Make sure to like, subscribe, send this to your aunties, uncles, sisters, brothers, cousins. Bye.
Yeah.